Guys, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Today I'm going to break down some of my favorite plays from every Final Four team in this year's tournament down in San Antonio. Going to be some great games. I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on some of the best actions that I've seen when watching these teams. We'll get right into it with Duke here. I believe this first one's going to kind of be like a flare slip to middle ball screen. So they like to run this action out of this alignment. They do a lot of things. Sometimes Knipple will come get this catch and they'll just go short roll, or they'll put flag in that spot as the screener with the short roll. Sometimes he'll just break his cutoff to the wing and they'll pop their 5 for a catch like they'll do here. And then you'll see they got this 5-out look. The paint's wide open and they'll kind of play out of this. I like this action a lot. I call it a flare slip. He never really commits to it, but they do flare a lot, so that's why I call it a flare slip. Then they just end up with this middle ball screen spacing again with the paint wide open, puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Not great spacing over here, but enough to occupy. And you'll see as this goes on, Cooper will lift here, which really I'm sure that most of us would say we'd rather him stick in that corner here. So he kind of lifts and creates that gap help. If he stays corner, it makes it easy. But, man, this is just a great one-on-one play by Tyrese Proctor. I just want to say real quick, some people might say that's a tough shot. My teams can't, I can't expect my team to be able to do this. And that might be true for some of you. It might be true for a lot of you. But, I think a lot of times when people are looking for plays or actions to implement on their team, of course we all want the guaranteed layup sets. And there are sets like that. But, man, when you play a really, really good team, those are going to be tough to get by. Sometimes you just have to have sets that get your best players in space with the correct spacing to make one-on-one plays. And you know what? Good players, they make tough shots sometimes. So just my thoughts on that. Same action with slowed down a little bit. It's kind of a loop cut. Breaks it off. They get into their 5-out spacing. Slips the flare. Right to it. It's just a great individual play by Proctor there. Getting to the next one here, the 5-out floppy choice, again against Auburn. If you guys remember in this game, I think Isaiah Evans made maybe 6 or 7 threes in that game. It was a ton, I know that. They still lose him here. They just kind of send Knipple from the corner to the top of the key here. Again, we end up with 5-out spacing, paint wide open. On his catch, everybody will kind of converge. They'll kind of shape up into the floppy. And you can see here, this is just choice here. I think the read, from the way I see it, is Evans is waiting on Proctor to make his commitment. Proctor could have faked middle, came out same side, but once he commits to coming out this way, that's how Evans gets the key to come out the other side, and these guys just get hung up. And you just can't, you can't leave a shooter like Evans unguarded. Watch again in slow-mo. And those guys just get hung up there. I'm not going to do this for every single play, but I do have all of these in fast draw here. Well, there it is. I don't know if you guys are interested in this. You can take a screenshot of it. These will be on fastmodel.com here. It might not be on here by the time you see this video, but if you want to kind of take a picture of this or a mental note, I do have the diagrams for all of these. If there's anything that you want that you can't get from just watching the video, you can email me it's coachcooper13@gmail.com, coachcooper13@gmail.com. That's the 5-out floppy choice. This is going to be their middle ball screen with the corner exit. Same alignment. I like that. Shire really does a good job of masking his actions by using the same alignment. Again, that loop cut here. This time, what's the difference? He gets the catch. They just go middle ball screen with this exit screen, and that occupies 2 guys. And he should get flat to the corner, or at least to the wing. And that's really good. Obviously, he botches the dunk there. He ends up getting fouled. But you can see, I mean, just watch how this corner exit here does its job. So they time it up pretty well. And it's just this right here. He's pointing, yeah, but look where his vision is. Is his vision to this roller at all? Still not to the roller. Still not to the roller. And then it's just too late. That's just, you can't, you can't recover off of that. It's a really good play design by Duke right there. Got that one on the fast draw as well. Sort of the same alignment, and then they get into this staggered. And they roll the stagger. That's really good. Obviously, I don't know about you guys. I don't have a 7-2, 7-3 big in there that you can just throw it to the rim. But I still think it's an action that you can have success with. The key really to me is physical screening. That starts it all. That forces the guy to actually have to fight through. He can't just walk through them. Then they get to that. Same kind of concept here, except it's not going to be a stagger, just be a pin. So they play through the trail. They're 5 out in transition here, which I like. And they'll just set this early pin down, and it's the same concept. He kind of catches it on the run, and they'll roll that. I mean, that's a really good catch and finish by a guy who hasn't been playing basketball very long. Another underrated element to this action working, and it's anything you do in the game of basketball, you got to be able to pass and catch. When you're able to lead this guy with his momentum going here, and he's just able to catch on the run. I know it seems like such a minute thing, but it's so important. On target delivery. And he's leading him with all his momentum going towards the paint. And they get you there. It's over. 5 out flare with the re-screen slip. So we'll see this alignment once again. We got 5 out here. And if you watch Duke, you know that out of this, they'll flare a lot, but watch the wrinkle they throw in here. So they kind of just exchange, and then he'll twirl to set the pin down or the zoom action, and then he slips it. Bam. And he absolutely blows the layup. That's really good action, though. It's really, really hard to guard, especially if you've seen this formation. You may have got hit with the flare, whatever it may be. It's really good. I mean, obviously, guy bending over with his hands on his knees, is that the best help side? Probably not. But could put a shooter over there to occupy. Now we got 5 out with a UCLA to a pin down. A lot of 5 out here from Duke. On 5 out spacing here. So if you want to run this one, you'll have your shooter get this initial catch where Knipple is, number 7. Then they'll enter to the wing, and they'll set this UCLA here, and then he'll pop off the UCLA, pop for a catch, boom. Knipple does a good job on this one. I mean, he's a really, really crafty player. Really, really crafty. He's got this kid where he wants him here. He knows that this kid's in recovery mode, so he's going to set him up to the middle, and this kid's fighting to get over. He's going to use that to his advantage, and it makes him end up being open on the pin down. It's just a really crafty play. I mean, that just reminds me of J.J. Redick at Duke. I think Knipple's probably a little more skilled, other than catch and shoot. Knipple's probably got a few more tools than J.J. did at this age. That's just really good. That's really good stuff by Duke, and that's simple. I want to show you guys that one. All right, so here's the diagrams for the 5 out flare with the rescreen and slip. there that is if you need it. Again, if you can't get it from this video, it should be on Fast Model Sports here in a few days. If it's not by the time you're watching this, or if you don't want to mess with that, you can just email me, coachcooper13@gmail.com, and I'll shoot these diagrams over to you. This is just their 5-out flare. Again, same alignment. Just a tough action to guard when you got really good players like this and you got proper spacing. Spacing is great. And again, this isn't good on Arizona's part defensively, but hey, you got to put the defense in situations where they're at a deficit and they have to make decisions, and you should always be trying to create an advantage. It's just a simple 5-out flare screen, and when you got a shooter like that, he doesn't need much space. 5-out fake pitch into the flare is a good set for a shooter here. This looks really similar to what Danny Hurley was running a few years ago for their really good shooter. I forget his name. I can't remember the kid's name, but they used to run a lot of similar actions to this. Just really good. Really good offense, really bad defense, but sometimes that's what it takes. And I do not have that one on Fast Model, so we'll just keep going with the video. Double drag to double staggered. It's just a quick secondary transition action. If you can't pass it ahead, you got to flow into something. And when you got a shooter like Knipple, that's a pretty darn good action to flow into. Here's a roll and replace. This is really tough to guard whenever the team's got a dead-eye shooter like Knipple. Starts with a good physical screen. And this guy's guarding Knipple. He's like, man, what am I going to do here? Do I stick? Do I help? It's tough. He's in a pickle there. He sticks with Knipple, and that's one-on-one at the rim with a 7-3 guy. Here's the same sort of concept, except on a baseline to bounds. Little delay screen there for flag. And then you can see right here, boom, that's the same spacing that we just had. Same action. This time, Knipple ends up being wide open. So a little delay screen there to get flag open. Proctor does a good job of, that's another subtle detail that's huge. I mean, if Proctor just floats out here on the arc and then tries to sprint over here to get this catch, it's not going to be at the right angle. It's easy to deny. This is a great job of forcing the angle of his catch for Proctor. And the big boy even helps him out. It's really good action. They get 2 guys on the ball. And that's all of Duke stuff. We'll roll into Florida stuff now. Florida, they're going to end up playing Auburn. Should be a really, really high-level game there. A lot of good offense in that game as well. I really like what Florida does offensively. They spread you out, and they run a lot of horn stuff. They run some 5-out stuff. A lot of ball screen slips as well, as you'll see on here. We'll start with this one. The horns over action to zoom. Actually, I think I named this one wrong. This is actually horns away, but yeah, it's horns away. It's okay though. It only bugged me into the zoom action, and that's a tough shot, but that's a shot that kid can make. So they actually go horns away, and they'll deliver the ball to the big on the pop out right into zoom. Key is here, Clayton clearing. Right now there's no gap. Him clearing to the corner is going to create a gap here to put this defender in a tough spot. Now it doesn't end up being in play here because he just makes a great individual play. But they run that to get downhill. But when you have good players, you can give them the freedom make those reads. Same action, horns away, pop, right into zoom. And again, you get this clear action. It puts 4 in a tough spot. And he does an excellent job of getting downhill with force and landing on 2 feet and getting that shot fake up. I mean, you could just tell he's cutting with a purpose there. All those handoffs are tight. Gets in there, boom, off 2. I'll show you. Show you those. Hope you guys don't mind me showing you guys this. If there's anybody that wants them, wants you to be able to have them, or jot them down, pause the video, whatever you need to do. It's super simple. It's just simple horns entry. He'll cut away. 5 will pop for the catch. And then there's just simple zoom. 4 will down screen for 2. 5 follows 4 into the dribble handoff. And the key here is 1 clears to the corner with the right timing to allow that single gap. So 3's defender is stuck there with a tough decision to make. Oh, wrong tab there. Here's our middle throwback gap drive. Kind of the same concept as the zoom. So let's set a middle ball screen and they'll throw it immediately. Not looking for the roll or not. They're just kind of set up their spacing. So middle ball screen, boom, and he'll get a throwback. And then the spacing's set now. Especially if you're facing a pressure team who's not used to really helping 2 passes away, or that's not their strength. Really, as my dog just absolutely is annihilating his water bowl over there. Sorry about that. He gets into the gap drive, and what we talk about. When you get these gaps like this, where there's a single defender, then he's in decision mode. He decides to stay, and that opens up a rim drive. Middle ball screen, throw, he'll get it right back, and then that's just the ISO drive. I don't even know if they forced the switch there. I wasn't even looking for it. Same action. It's a really, really good downhill drive right there. Right here, they do force the switch, but it's a little on little. He probably plays with him a little too much, but hey, when you're that skilled, man, have fun. It's a fun game. Show you that diagram. Middle ball screen throw. Gets it right back for a gap drive. Super simple. That is such a simple action to create a gap for your best driver, though. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's going to be interesting to see. Both these teams are going to be so well scouted. It's going to be interesting to see if both teams can take each other out of kind of their quick hitters and their base actions. It's going to be a lot of probably, who can turn each other over, who can get offensive rebound. I mean, most games end up being decided by that anyway, but. So here's horns over, and then it just ends up being an empty side ball screen, deep ball screen. That's a really good individual play there. So you'll enter, he'll go over, and you fake the handoff there. He clears, and then look at the paint. I mean, paint's open. It's really good. I mean, he could drive this ball into here and probably play off 10 maybe, or drive and kick, but he makes a great play. It's a tough shot. They run this a lot here, the 5-out exchange. I really like this action from Florida. We'll get into it here. I tell our team all the time, throw it to the trail early if you're being pressured. Why wait? Why wait till you can get down into here and this guy can get up and take us out? Throw it to the trail early. Put pressure on the defense as early as you possibly can. So they go to early throw there. He'll slip the ball screen, and they do a really good job on their replace action of timing it up. So look at the timing between the slip and the replace. This guy can't even be involved in the play. Figure out while we're lagging. There we go. And then ends up with kind of a 5-out spacing if he drifts out. And then they'll exchange these guys, and they'll do a lot of different actions. You can go zoom action here. You can go wide pin down. You can go flare. You can slip all over the place. And what they do is they just hard exchange, and Clayton just kind of sprints to the ball like he's going to get a catch. And if you watch this cut, it's all about change of pace. He's not going 100 miles an hour. He doesn't beat the guy because he's lightning quick. He beats him because he changes his pace. They get the exchange, sets him up, boom. It's really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. It's a really quick hitter here that anybody could run. Horns over. It's a really, really tough action. Especially if you got a lot of horns over, in your playbook or that you've shown already. That's when you can really get them. And this guy doesn't jump to the ball. He tries to chase. You get a hard lift out of the corner, which kind of occupies this guy. Because if he just holds that corner, maybe this guy could disrupt this cut, but he can't. And you get good false action on the weak side, and it all comes together. Really good. Here's their Iverson series. They like to slip a lot out of these Iverson cuts. Very simple stuff here. I don't know why the big was so late. We'll see on the replay here. But you just get that Iverson, that over-under action. Big is just playing drop. I don't know. Maybe he's being told to play that way. But he's super late, and then his momentum of trying to recover ends up killing him on the switch or on the slip. See, he's got full steam ahead. Oh, I got to get there. It's just a perfect time to slip because you just can't expect your big to change direction that fast. This is a good action against a real pressure defense, kind of like what Florida State's doing here. And that's just super simple, super effective. You get the Iverson overcut, hard step at the ball, especially a team that likes to kind of blitz on the ball early. Box clear into an empty ball screen here. It's just really good spacing. Really good spacing there. They kind of get a clear out action. And just the false action over there is enough. It's enough to occupy them. Call this through action. It's really good. Really good job of screening by. Just watch Clayton here. He sets this up with pace. Kind of lulls you to sleep, and then he's on you. Just check the screens here. We get a good screen from 5. Not bad. Really not a very good job by that guy of chasing high shoulder. Kind of took a wide angle to it. And man, Walter Clayton does not need much room to get that thing off. Here's just a special backdoor, again, against a pressure team here. Get everybody lifted. You see how they get everybody lifted? That's by design. They kind of want you to deny here. You kind of let them deny this one, and the next guy's like, oh, I got to deny as well. We got him in trouble. And then boom. Here's a baseline of bounds. Super simple. Box into 4 flat, and we get that hard duck in on that side. It just opens up his drive perfectly. Picture's kind of dark there, but you see that heavy duck in there just takes 13, probably their best shot blocker out of the play. that's all we'll do for Florida there. Again, if you like any of those actions and you want them, you want the diagrams, should be on Fast Model Sports for the next couple of days. You can find me directly on there by just typing in fastmodelsports.com/Dustin Cooper. Sometimes that doesn't work though, so you just go to their website, go to the play bank. They should be on there. If not, just shoot me an email, coachcooper13@gmail.com. Next, we'll get into Auburn. Auburn's another really, really high-level offensive team. They got a ton of tough shot makers. They take a ton of threes. The offensive rebound, obviously, they got one of the best players in the country in Johni Broome, who's very skilled. He can step out. He's very crafty. He's not overly athletic, but he's got really good feet, really good hands, and he knows how to position his body to finish over bigger, stronger players. If you know Bruce Pearl, you know they'll run some flex action, some modern day flex action. They run a lot of get action as well, which we'll get into. So let's get into it. I'm super excited for the Auburn-Florida matchup. Here's a really, really good action that I like. I'm going to steal this action for sure. So they'll start with a lot of these dribble handoffs here. Dribble handoff, they kind of set this chin spacing is what I call it anyway. Then they'll get this back screen. And he'll back screen here and he'll settle under the rim. Notice how they don't reverse it right away. Usually in this chin action, you want to get that reversal quick, but this is a quick hitter, right? So it's a little different. You kind of break tendency when you run a lot of stuff out of the same spacing. You want to break your normal tendency, whether it be out of your base cell or whatever it may be. But you'll watch 10. He'll settle under the rim, and he'll kind of look. He'll pass fake, he'll decoy, but he'll kind of delay it, and that sets it up. So you get the back screen, pass fake, then he'll just inside cut to the corner, and then they'll play out of these two guys here. Kentucky tries to hard chase it. And if you got a left-handed player there, obviously if it's a right-handed player, you can run it to the other side. But for a left-handed player, that's a really, really easy shot for them. Handoff into the chin action. Back screen, he settles under. Just watch. I love the pace, too. That's the key. You don't have to go 100 miles an hour to get open. Same action here. Settles under the rim. Now, Bama guarded that better than Kentucky did, but you let a left-handed player get to his left there. It's tough. Really tough. That's good. That's a unique action. I mean, if you know it's coming, you could probably just try to get through there, but here's one of their staples here. I mean, this is a Bruce Pearl staple. Been running this since the 90s. They'll just ball screen pop, and then boom, flex. Right into flex. Man, if you don't jump to the ball here, you're done. That's just a Bruce Pearl staple, and they run it very, very effectively. Stop it real quick. I forgot to show you some diagrams. I didn't diagram all of them, but there's the through to the middle pin action. If anybody wants to screenshot or jot them down, dribble handoff, back screen to the middle pin. There's that, and then here's the ball screen pop into flex. Super simple. Middle ball screen, big pops for a catch, and they probably set that a little higher than what I have it here on the diagram, but you can kind of play with what spacing you like. But if you don't jump to the ball, flex screen's going to get you every time. Rolling through here. There's a zoom rescreen action. Let's check it out. You have 5 out here. So it looks like zoom. But the guy who's going to be coming off the zoom action is just going to twist, or whatever your terminology is, twirl into a rescreen here. Really, really good. And that's a tough, tough shot. I get it. I get it. A twist action. I mean, let's say you don't coach a guy who can make that shot. Not a lot of us do. You can get that catch and attack the bid. You can roll that. You can do a lot of stuff. It's really, really good action by Bruce Pearl. Getting to some of their get action. So they run a lot of get. All that means is I'm going to get a catch, and then usually it's going to go right back to the guy who delivered it. That's a simplistic way of describing it, but close enough. So they'll run a lot of that. And on this one, they run like a fake get decoy. 31's going to fake the get action, clap his hands and try to occupy as much help as possible. And then he's going to kind of twist, boom, into a pin down. It's really good. It's really good, especially if you run a lot of stuff out of the same spacing. Really good. Another get action. Iverson to get. Got the Iverson cut. That's really tough. It's really tough to guard. Receives it. Throws it. That's really good if you got a player that's being face guarded as well. Another get action. So he skips it, and then he's coming right back to get it. I throw in a little pin action in there as well from Broome. Those are two massive human beings to try to get through on that screen as well. Here's just a cross screen, down screen. This is one of their staples as well. This is out of the flex family. Little cross screen into a down screen. And then they just let Broome go to work out there. They run this a ton. So they'll go dribble handoff. And he'll fake like he's coming through, and then he'll just kind of turn for the cross screen, and then obviously they're going to pin him. That's just a really, really good one-on-one play by Broome there. Here's another action they run a lot for Broome. They kind of fake the ball screen. They'll hit the guy will lift really hard. This happens pretty quick, but it's super simple. He just kind of, they act like they're going to set a middle ball screen, but the key is 13's going to lift hard for a catch, and then it hits you real quick. So kind of on the flight of the ball from 0 to 13, they're going to set this little UCLA up screen for Broome. That's really hard to guard. They run that a ton. I won't say a ton, but you'll see that. You'll probably see that Saturday. Last one here is just a middle Spain action. So it's a middle ball screen, and they'll bring a guy up here to set a back screen on whoever's setting the ball screen. So it's really tough. Puts a lot of pressure on this guy to communicate. Puts a lot of pressure on these two guys to guard it correctly, whatever your philosophy is on the Spain action. Then you can see, is that guy occupied? I would say so. He is right there on him, and it all just comes together. They set a really good back screen on this kid, and it's just too late. And here's a base out of bounds, little flex action. Screen to screener, flex. Bruce Pearl has made a lot of money running the flex concepts. I mean, we've probably all seen this baseline of bounds. We've probably ran a variation of it, but basketball is a simple game. Key here is getting who ends up shooting it? 13, right? That's the key. He's got to set a really good first screen, and it's a domino effect from there. He sets a good screen. Broome sets a good screen. And there you go. that's going to be all the Auburn stuff. I don't have a ton. This might be the only thing I have from Houston. Number one is because I haven't had time to really deep dive into Houston like I want to offensively. I've done some things on their attacking defense. And obviously, I broke down the Purdue game when they won it on a baseline out of bounds there at the end. But I'll tell you, and I hope this is no disrespect to Houston that I don't have as much stuff broken down on them as I do the others. But Houston is really dead set in the way that they win games, and it's they don't really. I don't want to say they don't rely on half court offense because of course they do, and they run a ton of stuff. I'm not disrespecting their half court offense, but they guard so well and they pressure so well. They rely on turning you over and scoring off of your turnovers. And then they also rely on rebounding 50 to 60% of their own misses and scoring off of that. And when you do those two things, you don't got to be great in the half court. So that's why I haven't given them as much looks to break down, and I should. Like I said, they do run some good stuff in the half court, but we'll just end the video with one of their baseline of bounds here. Simple screen to screener action. But again, very, very physical team. It's going to be fascinating to see if Duke can handle their physicality and their pressure. So they set a good back screen here. He actually sets two. That one's kind of false. And then he gets his feet set in the corner. Bam, bam, bam. And if you end up getting two on the ball there, you slip to the rim, obviously. That's it, guys. That's it. That's my favorite sets from all the Final Four teams that we'll see tomorrow. Super excited to watch the games. Let me know in the comments who you're rooting for, who you think's going to win, how your bracket's doing, what do you think of the sets, what's your favorite set, all that good stuff. Follow me on X at CoachCoop20. Again, all these diagrams will be on Fast Model at some point, or if not, I will have them. Email me, coachcooper13@gmail.com. Really appreciate you guys watching. Leave it a like. Please subscribe.